Yeah, my throat is killing. Like, I do not feel good at all today. It is, I couldn't even sleep. I was so uncomfortable. Um, and I don't know if it has to do with whatever's going on here or it's been pouring for, I don't know, long ass time. I think it started yesterday, sometime in the afternoon, I think. God, all the time and days and stuff. It's just like, melting into, like, I can't separate these days. Like, did I do that yesterday or did I do that the day before? It's like it all just blends into each other or something. So fuck, I don't know. But I think it started raining yesterday. I started crocheting again. I started right back up. I didn't take a break at all. But you get like you get the whatever that it's like an impulse or something. Not an impulse. It's like an impulse. It's like a motivation. It's like a drive all of a sudden. Like it is this energy of creation or something. It's like, I don't know. When you're like riding it, it's hard not to keep going. Anyways, now I'm making this other one. And I get so, like, it's hard for me to stop. I go into these battles too in my head. Like, okay, just get up and go do that. It's like, okay, I will in a minute. Okay, just let me finish this. And Stella starts pushing me and, oh my God, my throat. I just made a cup of tea. And now it's going up like in my ears. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure some people will say, well, it's ascension symptoms. Oh, it's the full moon. Oh, it's the energy. It's this, it's that. I don't know if it's rain. I don't know what it is. All I know is that there's a lot of different things because it's like, right, when this was breaking loose or whatever, and I've been still doing these massages and it's kind of freaking me out now. It's like, fuck, am I letting a lot of gunk loose? And I keep trying to move the lymph because you got to move that through. And I don't know if I had said that too. The guy who talked about the lymph, having to move the lymph, that when it clogs up, it ages you. And it is because your face becomes like swollen. The same thing as like when you are angry and stressed and you're holding tension in your face, and that is what becomes like wrinkles and that. It's the same thing as with the lymph. When it gets clogged up and it's not moving through, it makes areas of your face like jacks it up. That's what we think is aging, but it's really all this like not taking good care of ourselves. Now on my TikTok, now my hair transition is getting a lot of attention from a lot of girls. Now there seems to be a lot of girls that are doing it. I know there could be some guys and just the girls are talking about it more. But there's a bunch of people who are starting this. That will be so crazy. It just spreads. Like it will spread. Like the 100th monkey, it always spreads. But it's wild to just be like all of a sudden we all just start becoming more healthy. We all start age reversing. And I'll tell you, age reversing is a lot funner than aging the other way. Like, and it really is, to me, is so fucking absurd is how they got us to age ourselves on the earth cycles. I mean, like, seriously think about that. Like, it is really absurd. Our life cycle has nothing to do with that. And they got us to count down our time. It's like, it's wild. Okay, I got I put a bunch of honey in it. And I was thinking too, I wonder if you had an allergic reaction, if you went in and took a spoonful of honey, if that would, honey is pretty amazing stuff. So I don't know. Like there's still some things, people have to figure out. Like, because like a bee sting, because that would be an antidote kind of, because it's kind of like, I don't know, it's interesting. But I don't have any, but I was feeling so shitty and I was in there making the tea and I was putting the honey in and I was thinking about anaphylactic shock and allergies and somebody being alone and they had an allergy and they went in anaphylactic shock, they would just die. But I was like, well, that's strange, because you shouldn't have to go to a hospital or go and get, if something it kills you, it's supposed to kill you, but you shouldn't have to go to a doctor, because the death, the killing is you just leaving the game. It's not you dying. It's not like you did a mistake. It's just you're out, that you leave a story behind that affects people. So it's you're out, but so we're supposed to have our exit, exit way out, but but as a whole, as a sickness or whatever, there should be something in nature that if we're having some kind of allergic response or something, there should be something, I think, in nature that would counter it. Like there's all these things in nature, and we've just overlooked it because we went into a worship science. Let's worship science. Hold on, I gotta get a drink. My throat is fucking killing me. And it was like, I was laying there trying to sleep. I was so uncomfortable. I was like noticing that I was tossing and turning. And of course, because me and Stella are connected, and of course she is. And then, and I don't know if she was whining or what the hell. I don't know. It was all blur. But I was like, fuck, I'm uncomfortable, man. In my jaw. And and I've noticed too, is when I'm crocheting. And I think a lot of people have this. This is why I'm talking about it, because I think it's a lot of people have it, because TMJ. And it's beyond just like gritting my teeth, because I'm not just doing that, but it's like this muscle right here is pulling up. And so, and it's like a spasm kind of, it's holding so tight, and I had to pull and pull. And which, by the way, I don't know if you are, adding any years to your existence here. And I don't know how you are not doing yoga and stretching. Jesus Christ. I can't believe how much I have to do stretches and stuff. Like how stiff. Man, and I don't know if maybe it's the weather here or something, but Jesus Christ, I don't know how, I can't believe how stiff it can get so quick. If you weren't doing stretches and stuff, it seems like you would just become decrepit. You wouldn't be able to move. So, anyways, what was the other thing? Because there was another thing I was about to say about, I don't know. Even when I started this, I had no idea where it was going. So, hold on. I mean, I saw a couple things because I got up at 11:30, and oh yeah, the jaw thing. So I've been doing all this stuff, trying to loosen this and paying attention and trying to, tell myself what it feels like to be relaxed, to get myself to program. And so keep trying to pull it into like a relaxing kind of, and then, tell myself, I don't know, you got to come up with your own method. Because it just would seem crazy, whatever you do to somebody else, but you would know how to program yourself. So I, start telling myself, and doing things to try and pull it. This morning, I've been having these realizations on my body. This morning I had a big one over the muscles, because the muscles they've cut into my body, like the things that they did to have done to us, creates these distortions and stuff. Like the muscles heal back, and then it's changed my posture and stuff. So I have to pull myself, and then it's like pulls at that scar tissue, and I have to still pull it and pull myself into like a position, and retrain myself and pull on that scar tissue, and it hurts like a motherfucker. And so anyways, just things like that. And hold on, because it's like a whole bunch of things. Hold on, it's like I've got too many things, got too many balls up in the air. Hold on. I was like, this is overwhelming. Hold on a sec. I mean, because it's one thing that's been on my mind is been like, I don't understand how these girls, they go and they take more and more clothes off, try and do all this sexy poses and whatnot on social media, very public. You know, they want a lot of followers, get a lot, more sexy you get, the more you get. And then talk a bunch of shit on guys and relationships and stuff, but keep wanting to be in one. It's like, where do you think, what guy is going to be like, oh, that's the girl for me? Not only does she just show her body to everybody, because that registers different to different people. It doesn't register the same to the person who's doing it. They think it's way different than the people who are looking. And the guys who are looking are way different than the girls that are looking. Like, it's a whole different thing that, like, people think they're putting something out. And it's like, you're not putting out what you think you're putting out. But then going and doing that, and then even talking shit, like, what, even if that was all your thing was, is just this whole cerebral, just dissect every single date that you go on, because there's a lot of these people who do this, and I was like, who would go out with them? Like, seriously, who would? And there was a drama that just happened on one where a guy, it was a whole weird thing. He took his sister on this date. It was a whole long story. And it was like the girl who he went with, she started doing it on TikTok, and it was super public about this horrible date and how weird and everything. And he brought his sister, and then it ends up that the lady is followed by some of his friends at work on TikTok, doesn't even know, like, this is all low, like, he doesn't even know anything about that. He didn't even know about this TikTok or anything. And then he's getting all this all over there, and he's hearing about, like, guys talking about it at work. And it was like, so then he had to, eventually he went back and tried to talk to her and explain himself. And then he tried to explain to other people. He had to fess up. Like I said, it's always the best way is just humble yourself. But how embarrassing. Like, people are all talking about you're a horrible date. Like, oh my gosh, that's horrible. But there's, like I said, everything was going to be playing out. Everything is playing out. But I don't get how some of these people think, like, you want this certain thing, but what are you putting out? Like, you're not putting out that you are, like, I don't know. People got to figure it out for themselves. Like, you can point it out, but people don't see it until they experience it, until they feel it. And then they see it different. You can try and tell them ahead, look, but they can't see it. They can't see it. So really, it's so pointless to even try and get them to see. You know, it's way more of this natural, we just plant seeds. Like, it is more of just like these conversations that we have with people, and it gives us these little nuggets of information. And throughout our life, different things happen and encounters occur, and then we have these nuggets, and we can pull them or we can add to them. And it is like this. It's weird because there is so many of these, like, little stories, these little fables that have so much parallel. It's like collateral of what the story is, like Jack and the Beanstalk and Rapunzel, like all these different stories. It was like there's deeper meaning, kind of, you know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me drink some more of this. I don't even know if I'm making sense. Swear to God. And Stella always likes this 432 alpha. I think this one might be Delta. I don't know. But she always likes these 432 alpha healing waves, and I'll put them on. And the visuals, I hate all the visuals they put on them. I can't stand it. And they do always the same ones, and it's creepy. And they're always, like, I don't know, someone's bodies, and I don't know. You'd have to go on and watch it and see what you think. I think it's creepy. Um, and my hair, like, this is like day 4 of not washing it. And the one day, I tried, it's like I washed it, and then the next day it was just drenched. And so I was like, okay, is something wrong with the stuff I'm washing it with? Is it the water? Like, what the fuck? So I washed it. I tried something different. I used my clove water mixture stuff, and I used that. Oh my gosh, my hair was worse. I tried, and I think I tried an apple cider or something. So I tried a couple things, and each day it kept being the same thing. One of the days, it was like within hours, my hair was like drenched, like it was super oily, this sebum waxy stuff. And this waxy sebum stuff is heavy too. It's a lot more dense. And anyways, before, when I was having all this drenching happening, when I was trying to figure out the shampoo, which it could have been the water thing back then. Like, I was always, like, you don't know. There's so much environmental bullshit. And so but it took like a couple weeks to get it like this. Like, it is all the way through my hair. All the way. And today this other shampoo comes, but it's like, what the hell? Something's going on for it to be like my hair is like overreacting, or maybe I don't know. This is like so much stuff to try and figure out so much stuff. It's exhausting. I was like, all these lies, all this bullshit. And then it still goes back to, we're not even real. Like, it always goes back to that. We're not even real. There you go, Crystal. You want to go outside? It's raining, honey. You know it's still raining. Sometimes even when she goes out on the porch, she'll go and look on each side. Like, is it raining on this side and this side? It's both sides, honey. Both sides of the porch is raining. Hold on. Here she goes out to do her porch examination. She goes to one side, looks over real. And she always looks very regal. She walks over there, looks over, walks to the other side. Both sides again. Damn it. Cracks me up. I swear to God, it's been like that ever since I had this two-sided porch thing. Cracks me up. Let me think for a second. 17 minutes. I got ways to go. Okay, let me think. Maybe it's the outdoor. Maybe I've got hysteria. I've got the hysteria. So anyways, today I've got this other shampoo coming, this biotin shampoo. So I might wash it, but then it's also like, if my hair is trying to do something, and my body's doing something, like something is happening. And so, I kept feeling this yesterday, and I kept feeling just like kind of just a rough spot, but it's like way down in this hole. Like, I'll go back when I was a nurse, we had to memorize every little fucking notch in your fucking skull and your shit. I would have known what that was called. I don't know now. And plus, some of that shit, if you didn't use it over and over, like if you worked for an ophthalmologist or something, probably, or eye doctor clinic or some kind of thing, but unless it was something you used over and over, you usually forgot that stuff right after a test. But some of the stuff, like you had to know all of the different ones. But anyways, so this little notch down in there. And so I could feel like it felt a little rough. And then it kind of felt a little tingly, like towards the evening. And then it's like, are my eyes tired? I just need to lay down, go sleep, whatever. And so I thought, well, I'm going to put some of that stuff, the horse paste on. And I think I put some on in the afternoon sometime, a tiny bit. And then I thought I'll put some on before I go to bed, so to be on there. So just in case, but, so what I have is like this, it feels all stopped up. It feels like something back in the back of like my sinuses is like burning. And it feels like this has gotten all stopped up. Like, and my nose is like burning, and then going down in my throat and then going out towards my ears. So then it was like, something is bothering me. So I don't know if it's moving the lymph, like me doing all that is getting stuff moving. I don't know if it's environmental. I don't know if it's this toxin moving through that's irritating everything. But my body's processing something. And as far as I'm concerned, when your body's processing something, especially now knowing, like, what the fuck our body's really doing. Like, goddamn, it's healing serious shit, man. And so, I think a lot of people are healing shit and don't know it. Like, I don't think I'm the only one. Even though that second doctor, she was really like, the first doctor, she was like, well, yeah, it happens. I mean, it's very rare, but it happens. People do it. And the second one, she's like, oh no, we'll get a viral load. Well, yeah, we'll make sure, because the viral load will show if you still got some active virus in there, because, that's, which they should be doing on everything. See, they should not give anything without checking this viral load thing. That is some bullshit. That's why I've said that's why when people sit there and tell me like, well, that you just don't understand this sickness. It's like, well, I understand the fucking rules. Like, fuck, dude. Like, God, I get tired of people telling me shit. Can you imagine going to someone else's job and telling them like, well, no, don't do it that way. You got to do it this way. No, you don't understand your own job. It's like, Jesus Christ. But, as soon as I got a brain injury, well, all of a sudden I was just a complete, moron. So, like, whatever. A lot of people looked at me as a total moron before that anyways. I was just like, oh, now she's over the edge. And she's just a weirdo anyways. She's pretty, but she's weird. It's like, well, it's a package deal. Well, I don't know. There was a time where it was like, I was very confused. I was like, man, if I'm this weird, if everybody fucking thinks I'm weird, like, fuck, I'll just sit here and... But I couldn't help myself. Somebody started talking to me and talk about Bigfoot or aliens or something. Another thing that I was thinking was weird is, so Amy Wolf, she was saying that she just watched Zeitgeist, and she'd asked me if I had seen it, and I had saw it long time ago when it first was out. My brother, who's the atheist, he had seen it, and he wanted to show it to like my mom and my sister, and I was thinking, you know what, I think he was showing it to me too, because the thing that is so funny is because to like the people who are religious, like my mom and my sister and stuff like that, because I don't claim religion, Jesus, the Bible, and all that stuff, and I say a lot of the stuff they say is real, I say isn't real, that I'm a devil worshiper. I don't believe in a real God. I don't believe in real God. I believe in a fake God, the pretend God that the devil created to trick me. And so I'm just tricked, and poor me. And the fact that I want to be close to this God, but I am incapable because I can't recognize Jesus's role or whatever, it's like this whole thing. And so they look at you as like you're just this devil worshiping lost cause. But then anyone who is like atheist or something, they look at you if you are spiritual, especially I think spiritual, because I think spiritual people talk about shit in a different way. It's like it's a different way we talk, because it's a different way that we look at things. And so then you bring that to the table, and then people see you as like some sort of a religious fanatic. It's so funny how you can be so completely different to how the view of the person, because there's so many things. Like somebody would talk to me and be like, well, what's gonna happen the way it's gonna happen, that's how the universe works. Like, and shit like that. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, well, that's destiny. That's, okay, weirdo. You act like there's some other thing going on. I was like, yeah, I do. Yeah, there is. It's like, but you can't get people to see till they're ready to see. And I think it's all on purpose. Like, it's not like these people don't know. That's why they're going to be so embarrassed when all of a sudden they remember. It's because they do know. It's like, how did I forget? What's wrong with me? How was I so tricked? That's what's going to be so much of that. Hold on a sec. Seriously, I can't believe how bad it hurts, man. And it wasn't even, it's like been going so, because when I was laying there at 11:30 and I couldn't get comfortable, I was like, okay, it's hurting like right up in here. And then ever since I got up, it just keeps moving. But I keep doing these rubs and because that guy said how important it is to move the lymph. Don't let it get stuck. And so keep moving it and moving it. So I keep doing all these rubs and I keep finding these really tension spots. And so I don't know if that is clogged up lymph or if it's muscle tension or what. I noticed like I have this like muscle tension reaction or something. Just anything I do that's concentrating. And that's another thing. Well, I know it's like, it's got to be a lot of other people. Like you don't realize, like you're concentrating and this muscle up here tightens. You tighten it without just going like, you tighten this muscle. So it's back here. So back here gets really sore. And it is, it does make my teeth hurt and my jaw hurt. And so my teeth were hurting too when I woke up. And the back of my head. And so it was like, fuck, man, I'm uncomfortable. Just like everything is hurting. So there's something, So today is going to be... And I'm so fucking anxious to get to the... It's so weird. Because it's really a weird kind of experience to go through. To feel so much shame of my body for so long, like it's been going through so many flashes of so many things that people said to me and how it affected me and how I looked at myself, and just really going over that and reliving it and stuff, and seeing how like I felt so much shame over my body. And then, thinking that something was wrong with it and thinking I needed to change something. And now it's like so much like how I just long to be back to just my regular body, just be back into that comfort, just to feel like, and then plus as this is occurring, all this stuff on the planet and stuff, it's like these things just like it's heavier and bigger and like, and I got it in my mind, keep like, okay, get control. Like, and, minimize it. And, but it's in my dreams. Like I'm dreaming it and stuff. I'm so excited. And like, I want so bad this week to the surgeon's office to call me and set up an appointment, have me come in and take him out right then that day. And insurance is paying for it. Like, is, there's problems, so they're going to pay for it. Take them out right then and then just be on my way. Be on my way to the new you, which was the old you that I felt embarrassed about, but now becomes the new you that you feel good about. It's a weird kind of full circle. It's a weird, and probably not everybody would have that same experience, but, changing yourself to try and make yourself better, or it was a lot of different things I felt. It would be a lot of the different things that people would say. It's just crazy because how we talk to each other affects us in such a deep way. It's supposed to. Like, it wasn't supposed to be, well, we should have never done that. No, it was supposed to go the way it went. Now it's a re-examining, re-evaluating, and recognizing and seeing like, fuck, man, we really affect each other. And a lot of it is in a negative way. And a lot of it is like not our business, It's like, it's not our business. But we interject ourselves because it distracts us from our own problems, our own problem business. So, Hold on, it's almost gone. I put a bunch of honey, so I was hoping that would help. I'm gonna keep working on my crocheting today. Oh, and I made a mistake yesterday. I was making, I was trying to make date caramel. So if you take dates and then you get the seed out and you put them in hot water and you get them mushy, then you add in coconut milk and, what was the other thing? You add some salt, coconut milk, and there was one other thing. And then anyways, you blend it up and it makes caramel sauce and, oh, molasses. So you had like, her recipe was 8 dates, a quarter cup of molasses, and then a half a cup or a cup, no, 1 cup of coconut milk. And then it was like caramel sauce you could use with apples or whatever. And so Stella was harassing me, so I thought, well, I'm gonna go make that. And so I went in to make it, and then I got a little too zealous on the coconut milk. And so mine's kind of real runny. So I was like, oh, dang, well, I could use this like as creamer kind of. This is good, it tastes good. And so I was like, I could use it as creamer. But now I was thinking, I think I'm gonna make a cake with it. It is good. And now that I've been making, like yesterday I made cookies. I'm sure it was yesterday. Sometimes it's in the middle of the night too. But I ground up almonds. Because the last time was walnuts. I really, really like walnut cookies. But so just took the almonds, then I put coconut oil, and then an egg, vanilla. You could add molasses. That's where you got to decide what's your poison on the sugar, which direction you want to go. But then you got to put your sweetener, and then you got to put your baking soda, so it rises, and then, or whatever baking soda does, some of the rising, and then you got to put the flour, and so it was good. Oh yeah, and I took the chickpeas, the chocolate covered chickpeas, and I ground those and made like these. It was kind of like they're chocolate, they're like little chunks, but they've got this chickpea, I don't know, so it's got added protein. So even if you did the chickpeas in, because you can just roast chickpeas and make them crunchy, and you could even do them spicy. That would be a good one. You did the chickpeas spicy, and then you made like a cookie, because you could do walnut and add in chocolate powder too, and make it like chocolate walnut with spicy chickpeas. See, that was pretty healthy, especially if you put molasses, walnuts, coconut oil, and chickpeas. Like, that's pretty healthy. That's not like a Oreo or something, you know. That's what I've been doing too, since I like cookies and stuff, is trying to figure out how to make them healthier, and so make them more, you know, so they're not just as junky, have more nutrition in them, but still can enjoy that sweet flavor, even though it's like it kind of reduces down like what I used to do about sugar and whatnot. Hold on. I swear she's having such an attitude. She is, God, she's a character. But, like, look at my hair. It is seriously like the smallest amount left. And my eyebrows are getting darker, and I can totally see the difference on the minerals or the oil pulling or whatever. Like, I don't know if it's probably a combination of adding in the minerals and then doing the oil pulling too. And so I see, like, well, I think that's getting better too. And then I think that this, like, I think there's one up here too. But I used to think that it was a space, but it could be like where a filling was kind of shine. But anyways, so I think that's getting better. I think all the stains, uh, like get better on your teeth or whatever. It like, I think it changes the color kind of. Like they just seem, I don't know. It's all in the, it's all in the eye of the, you know, the eye of the receiver. It's whatever you see. I can't convince you what you see. Like, you gotta see what you see. And so, anyways, that is, because when it's looking face on, it looks, and then when you turn it, it's like so much less. So it's going away. And I think it seems like it would be just under 2 months or something. So, and yesterday I told my mom, she still has not even started. And so I reminded her of what her pharmacist friend said about the, you know, and I told her, you're mineral depleted. That is what your hair is showing you. Your hair is stripped of color. Like, you got to be looking at your hair as like a gauge, a barometer, thermometer. It's drained of all the color. And I said, just think how quick your hair went from gray to white. And then she said, well, there's still some gray at the back. It's like, your hair is, it went fast. Like, the faster it goes, it starts speeding up. The more you're depleted. Once it's pulling from your hair, it's like you're depleted. Like, you got to get some minerals inside of you. And so she's going to, and somebody else had said this in the comments. And so she was trying to figure out a different thing too, because she didn't have the money. But somebody else was saying too about the copper not being there or available or something. So, or the cups. But so she's getting a glass, like get a mason jar, then get some copper wire because it's way cheaper. And then make yourself a coil, like a coil, you know, a whole thing on the bottom, like a burner of the copper, and then put it at the bottom of the cup. And then, you know, put your water in it and leave your water in over. I would start like with doing that one, because you still got to do the same kind of thing. Like, I would, you leave the first time overnight, and then I would dump it out. And then the next day I would, or you know, after you dump it out, then put some in and then leave it for like an hour and try it. Because I don't know if it'd be way stronger. And if that doesn't seem like it bothers you, then try it for 2 hours. And then if it doesn't bother you, go 3, and then just work yourself up. It's like my sister, she left hers and overnight or something right away. And then she had a horrible headache. And I don't even know if she's stuck with it. I asked her, so I'll see what she said. But, because it can make you not feel good if you get too much copper at once. So you got to kind of monitor yourself and notice, you know. See, my hair is like, it's like way denser to try and, but then it gives it like this body and this shine and stuff too. Like, there's like some really good things. Like, maybe I just gotta start like thinking I don't need to wash my hair all the time. But up here, you gotta put in like powder and dry shampoo, because it's just like heavy and dense. It's like to kind of get it to not be like, I don't know. There's so many things. So weird. You sit there trying to figure it out, and then I was like, well, it's not even real. It's like so many things I'll be doing or trying to figure out. It's like, it's not even real. Like, it's constantly, all the time now. None of it's real. This isn't real. Like, don't get so caught up in it. Don't worry so much. And they've had so much drama going in I don't know, it's like an unexpected way now, I guess. Because now they've got Travis at the game showing this abusive side of him. Like, it's not set up. It was so wild. Is you've got these people who who are trying to be like, I can't believe people think it's set up. I can't believe they think that they're figuring out who's going to win the game ahead of time and it's all set and stuff. It's like, it's all scripted. Like even guys who are on the NFL have said that what practice is going in and learning your lines, learning how you're going to fall, learning how you're going to, they learn, every team gets a set thing. They know who's going to win each game beforehand. It's like a ballet. It's like a show. It's all a show. People have injuries. It's all a show. There's probably some injuries that are, like an attack. Like if you stay in line or you watch out. It's like prison kind of tactics or something. We'll get the big guy on you. So, man, once you get in their clutches, once you get in their radar, they are just like, and if they can make money off of you, if they figured out how to make money off of you, man, they want to hold you. They want to hold on you. They want to hold on your mind. They want to hold on your attitude. Oh my gosh, she's been doing this, and I don't know if it's like, if she's feeling like the energy, like there should be nothing. Like, well, I can hear her stomach making a lot of gurgles and stuff. But she keeps going out and drinking the goddamn fucking water out there. And then, I don't know. I'm sure it's raining chemicals. That could be what's making me not feel good. I don't even know anymore. And I'm exhausted. I'm tired of it all. It's like, and I saw somebody talking about their intel says that there's going to be a black swan event today, which a black swan event is apparently the what is that place? Wall Street crashing. So if the stock market's going to start crashing or something, I hope. Come on, do something. But I don't think it's going to be like, it's going to be dramatic. However it's going to play out, it's going to be dramatic. So the crash would be for days. But it ultimately is going to lead to people all of a sudden going like, fuck, if I go to work, I'm not going to get paid. Like, okay, so if I'm not going to get paid, but nobody else is getting paid, so how am I going to get my bill? So why would I pay my bill? Like, there's going to be all of this kind of like, where people have to process through it and see. There may still be a few people who are going to be going to work for a few days, just like automatic, well, I got to go to work. I got to go to work. It'll all work out. It'll get fixed. But there'll be a lot of problems. Once the thing crashes, there'll be like all that kind of stuff. People trying to decide what to do. There'll be places getting broken into. There'll be looting. There'll be all sorts of shit. There'll be people trying to break into banks. Fucking probably hostage situations. There's gonna be all sorts of chaos. And once it goes. So I don't know. I'm sure they're trying to do everything they can to diffuse it. Honey, what is it you want me to do? What do you want me to do? You got to show me what you want, because I have no idea. So she goes, gets on her bed like. Sometimes she'll go and show me. But today she's out of treats anyways until her box comes today. And I gotta say, these shoes, I fell in love with these pair of shoes I saw, and so I bought them used, of course, because I can't afford to buy some of this stuff. Like if I had to buy it new, I wouldn't be able to afford it. But these shoes, I saw them. I was looking on the ThredUp thing, and these shoes popped up, and it was like, I don't even know how to explain the emotional feel I felt for these shoes. It was the weirdest thing. And I got them. I ordered them, like, boom, I gotta have these shoes. I've gotta have these shoes. And so now I keep checking. They haven't sent them yet. And it's like, oh my God, please hurry up. Send me my shoes. And because if everything crashes, it's like, oh my God, UPS guy won't go to work. The mail guy won't go to work. Who's going to deliver this shit? Where would it be? Everything's going to be just sitting up at the post office. We're all going to go up there and bang our way in. I've got orders. Give me my stuff. It's like, fuck, come on. We got to hurry up. Get my shit out here before everything crashes. Because I feel like it's so close. I feel like everything is so close. It keeps being these earthquakes and shit. But these shoes, they look like, and I keep having this in my head, and I feel like it's my grandma's. I feel like my grandma's are, but these shoes kind of remind me of like Bonnie, like from Bonnie and Clyde would wear these shoes. Like I keep hearing mall, but there's another word. Like, I don't know if it's gangster mall or something. This mall is like this woman or whatever. Honey, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Bothers me when she gets like this. I don't know what the fuck. Why is she crying? Her stomach is growling. What is it, honey? What? You can come over here by me. You want me to rub your head? You can come lay by Mama. Her stomach is really gurgly. Can you hear it? Oh, this is gonna be a long day. Oh, you're all wet. You need to get dried off, huh? Can we do that in a minute? Can we wait a second and I'll dry you off in a second? I should have brought a towel over here. God, her stomach is so gurgly. I'll have to feed her too. Well, I don't have to do it all right now. Like, let me think, because it was, okay, so you got this drama on the Super Bowl, and it's just all this stuff of like people coming to this realization of they're being tricked, and it's all a bunch of hullabaloo. It's all lies. Everything's lies. Everything's games, and get people invested in it. And then plus, I guess that Super Bowl is the biggest. It's got the most traffic of any other day of the year, and the most money is moved through the class of people that eat us. So they've got a lot of money moving through betting and stuff, which is absurd when it's all fixed. It's like, what? Like, nobody would be betting on it when they knew it was fixed. It wouldn't be those people. It'd be these people. Those people are laughing at these people, but these people are making all the money off of these people. So they make the money off of these people's stupidity. But they're not the ones betting on the games. Like, these people. So that's why we're constantly the laughing stock to them. They just trick us, and we're all just so eager to be tricked. It's like, you should see this eagerness. Like, people just get so into this stuff. There's so many people that were just all into the Super Bowl and gonna watch it and making all the food and stuff, and it's just all this big, it's all a big distraction. It's all a big thing to just, entertain the masses. Let's give them, always, we gotta have two sides. We gotta have them, this side fighting this side. It's their whole thing all the time. When we gotta get out of this two opposing forces. We gotta blend in. Yeah, there's two forces, but we gotta bring them into balance. But anyways, on this Travis Kelce or whatever on the thing, I guess he got mad at his coach. Now they're making like it was like elder abuse. He came at him like, it's all a big show. What is it, honey? You're acting so weird. Oh, man. I swear, no matter all the things you do, like her coat looks good, her movement, like all this stuff that oh, it's hunger. She's sniffing around. Oh, you're hungry now? So can we finish this? Do we have to do everything right this second? I told you, see, this is what my days are like. She's very bossy, dramatic. She really thinks she's the queen. I'm really here just to serve her. She gets mad when I fall short of being the doorman and getting her treats and snacks to her in a timely fashion. I'll do it in just a second. Mama's almost done, okay? Yeah, her stomach is growling. I'll make you a good supper, okay? It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'll go ahead and make you a supper. But I swear to God, she's eating like 5 times a day. But we went from this, you know, being so sickly, not wanting to eat some days. She couldn't even stand the smell of it. She'd run when I put her food down. Now it's like she's going up and wanting food constantly. Give me food, give me food. And look at how good she's doing at showing me. When I say show me, she went over. It was a piece of cookie I gave her earlier because I already ate some cookies. And I tried to share it with her, and she turned her nose away. So I said it right there. And then she went over to it to show me. That's what I want. I want some food. Look, I'm hungry. Can you hear my stomach growling? So if I could, I would just walk you guys over there and start doing it with you. Just take you on my day. But let me think. I'll just finish up what I was. Okay. Let me think. Okay. So we got the fucking Super Bowl, which I don't know anything that went on. I don't know what went on with the show or any of the business. You know, still people talking about shit that was going on at the Grammys and stuff. And I don't know. I know that there's everything to me is like this double thing. There's 2 things happening. There's the part of things being so weird and getting people to talk and wake up. And then there's this other part where the people just talk like it's just like, that's just the way it is. This is just how things are. This is life. And it's weird because it's like, this is the life that you will accept. This is the life that you, like, this isn't the only way of being. This isn't the only way of living. People are so sure. Like, there's just this one way. Oh my gosh, Stella, just a minute. Hold on, I'll give her a piece of cookie. Maybe that will calm her. Here, do you want your cookie piece? There's your cookie. God. She's so bossy. Oh my gosh, Stella, she's just having a fit. She just sits there staring like, she gets so mad about it. So, oh my God, I'm so distracted and I don't feel good and I can't think right. So, let me think. So today, this is Fat Monday or no, is this Smart? I don't know. What was Fat Tuesday? But what day is Mardi Gras? Is today Mardi Gras? Like, I don't know. There's something about this whole energy harvest thing and then this whole fucking, these things going right up to each other and the way the moon is aligning. And there is, there keeps being just a lot of violence and stuff. And that is, it's like that's the energy that they pull in, is the energy that feeds the people who create the violence. So it's like, but the thing is like the light, because the light is there, it's like it can see it can see, so it makes that those people stand out. So the ones that are being fed by the dark stand out more. And there's a whole thing too where I was seeing like there's a lot of arrests that are going on, and there was like a lottery done or something for the journalists, and there's like 30 journalists who got the stories, and they're going to be telling all this stuff. But there's some guy who keeps talking or who was talking about that Rebel magazine or whatever, because there's always been these discussions about that, and where people say it's a military paper, so it is accurate. This guy, he said that he has been reading them for all these couple of years, why they've been doing all of these, you know, this squad action at the end of your series of questioning, that they are, he said he's been reading them, all of it's like the document, like, of what happened in court, like an overview, you know, they said this and all that stuff. And he said it's like so accurate. And so, but I totally believe that all that stuff's going on. I totally believe that all this stuff is that they are exposing it, and that is why there's so much absurdity. And that a lot of this stuff is to catch people who were under the radar. So a lot of these people, like, they took the heads out, and then so if you have all of these underlings, you have all of the pawns, where are the pawns? You have all of their henchmen, all of their, I see like the horses or something. They have all of their group. And then, so you have the guys at the top, because it's always this pyramid scheme kind of hierarchy, how they do it. But so you have those ones at the top, and then you have their ones to control through fear and violence. Those ones are being more exposed, because the top ones went down so that they could take those ones down and then trick these ones with this money thing. And there's a whole thing too, I had seen something about with the tracking, like there's, like everybody's like, oh, look at these phones and all that stuff, but they're tracking. There's like a tracking thing, like there's more to it. And so there's, and these people are not having some good time. These people keep coming out and complaining. They're stuck in these hotels. They have to just eat this food. They're not allowed. I don't know if the ones that are in hotels aren't allowed to leave, or they lose their room. And you have these other ones, like all this is set up. Like, it's so, and there's more shit going on in like Chile and stuff. And right before this big fire situation, suddenly their president or something had died. Like, there's shenanigans going on. And so there's not all these people over here are here to do us harm. A lot of them are also in the same situation as us. They're all getting fucked over too. They're all, scrambling around trying to figure out what to fix, and they're all displaced too. And now they're trying to make it, a crime to be displaced. Would they just want to fucking turn every hotel into a fucking prison then? Like, and there's more absurdity, like Joe saying something after the Super Bowl, like it was all set up, like, and people being like, oh, I can't believe it. And it's because that's what they're leaking out. They're trying to get you guys to wake up and see. You're in a fucking controlled environment. Everything in your life is controlled. You have to wake up and see. And the control isn't for you to do good, to feel good, to be happy. It's to bring you down, keep you sick, because they make money off of studying you. And, it's like fucking we're run by goddamn mad scientists. It's like, it really makes you think we should have been way nicer to the smart kids in school. We should have just been kissing their ass. Like, never say anything about them being too smart, too nerdy. Because then they grow up and they're angry and they want to kill us. And they find access, because there's these weirdos who always want to kill us. And they're always looking for people that can figure out how to do it in a sneaky fashion. Let's do it real sneaky, like, so they don't notice. It's like, yeah, but they went all in, and so many of us are all so sick with the same shit. It's like, we've noticed, we figured it out. We know now what's going on, this lab rat habitat. And, but that's why we have to counter, we have to figure it out, which I just saw another thing. This is supposed to be the strongest thing against any cancer, is a soursop fruit. And it's this weird prickly looking fruit, and you cut it and then you eat a piece and it kills all the cancers and shit inside of you. And if you can't get that fruit, you can get the tea leaves and stuff. So I just ordered some of that tea too. And then I still have the Sayek tea coming today, and that's supposed to be one that kills all the cancer stuff. So I'm going to do both of those while trying to process all this stuff, because I feel these weird things inside my body and stuff, like these weird sensations, like this burning, like almost like I breathed in water or something. And then this is so sore. And then it's so stopped up. Now I'm really seeing, how it's been so stopped up for so long. Now I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's been irritated by this, whatever, this drainage or this blockage or something. So hopefully what I have is like stuff moving, and they'll start moving through and draining out and clearing up. And, and that's what goes on, because like when your body is trying to fight a sickness, it will raise the temperature up. So the temperature, now all of a sudden I feel like I've got a temperature too. God damn. I got to go do some mind, like, I'm not even shitting you. I was like, right as I was saying that, it was all of a sudden I felt like I was heated up. That is so weird. So when your body is having a temperature, it is trying to kill something inside of it. So it could be, rubbing this lymph and stuff, that it was like encapsulated or something, some bacteria, and then moving it around, it released it, and now it's moving through and wreaking havoc in my body and causing all this. So it's like back of my ear hurting and stuff. But I mean, you can't just leave it sitting there. Like, it's got to move out. It's got to get out and move around. Here she comes again. Honey, are you just so uncomfortable? You're just starving to death? You're just miserable too? It's like, I don't know if it's the intensity, but anyways, whatever with the energy and shit. And I saw this psychic lady who was saying, she's saying that there's about to be a big 9.5 in San Fernando Valley. And it's going to be, it's going to be really bad. And it's going to start going out the West Coast. And there's once it starts going, and there's other things too with this Ring of Fire thing. Once it starts going, it's going to be tsunamis and stuff. That's when everything's going to be really shaken up. Where it would be a lot more serious, like, fuck, we got to get going, move out of the coastline. And, but she is saying that that's supposed to be going on. And she said that there's also, her guides are telling there's going to be volcanoes. And that is also what's going in Chile. There's a volcano going too. So I don't know. But the video that I saw where the fires started there, it was obvious, like something just started, wasn't natural. And, but none of these goddamn are. It's all a complete attack on us. And, normally half the people are seeing, and the people who see all sound crazy. So everything, that's why it's gotta be all the lights come on. But that is like this, that's why they're like this taking down, like these certain people exposing themselves. But also there's a spiritual thing happening. So the people will expose themselves. There's no getting away from it. The energy is changing. What you could hide from before, because you match that energy, isn't there anymore. The shadows aren't as dark, so you don't have places to hide. You have to be able to be seen. So if you're sneaky, a liar, and all that stuff, and you don't want to be seen, it's going to be forced. So that's why you have to clean up your lies. Start being honest, fess up. If you've been stuck in a big, long fucking lie, then just fess up, just call yourself out and be honest and recognize, why you've gone to such degrees to hide yourself, So a lot of people have relied on lying. Just like, well, I'll just lie. I'll just say something different. It's like, but it's never going to get you anywhere. Lies always reveal themselves, or push you to have to reveal yourself. And yesterday too, while I was crocheting, I was seeing like a lot of things. Like when you go into that meditative state, then you see so many different things. It was like I was seeing, I don't know, different things playing out. And I don't even know how to explain it. I'd have to see it more fresher or something. But there is, all this stuff is happening. It's all happening for this awakening. And, people get so caught up in the happenings and what is going on, and they think that that's what is the real thing. But it's all of this stuff is playing out. I just saw this lady, she had this big poster, this quantum money thing, and on the poster, it says something about the EBS, and it has already, the notes are already made, that they're just waiting for this, it's set on there, waiting for something to happen. There's got to be this battle has to play out. This battle has to play out, whatever it is, and that's gonna bring in peace. But it's like these people who are gonna play it out, they're angry like that they're taking that energy, like they're taking it. They're like that energy is going, they're taking it and taking it out. So there's energy leaving with people, these big energetic explosive things. And so whatever's going to go on, which that to me has always made the most sense, is this something happened, some drama. It was the government, which they're pushing the division, because people need to see, we need to come together. They've got to question themselves why they're dividing, and notice that what they're caught up in on the division is their emotions, which makes you emotionally immature. So you don't want to be all caught up in your emotions, overreacting, getting mad at somebody over shit that you don't even know the person. So, it's all of that stuff coming to the surface, and each person has to recognize it themselves. And so many people just dig in harder, dig in deeper. It's like, no, they really are really shitty. It's like, you got to see what's going on here. But the more you don't see, the more when the lights flip, when it comes on, the more it's going to be embarrassing that you couldn't see, that you kept fighting and fighting and fighting. It's going to make people feel so cut off from themselves. It's going to make people, there's going to be people who are going to feel like soulless. Like, oh my God, I am so like, what's wrong with me? There's going to be so much of that. But it's just, people have to reconnect to themselves. They have to readjust, reset their moral compass, start really looking at things, in new moral eyes, because in our society, it's been so degraded. It's been so, what is that word? It's been so, whatever that is, like, where they make it so bad, the more they push it little by little so you accept it. And then pretty soon you're way over here on the edge of what you accept. But they do it so little, by little increments. And then you're way over here. We're way over here. And it took a lot of different things to get here. But we accepted a lot of shit. And now it's time to stop. Oh my God, like Planned Parenthood. Like, oh my God, we have so many things. Like, as a society. And just, of course, was going to turn into something so insidious, so cancerous, so diseased. So, everything has to do this changing. It has to be, it's like the light and the dark. Like I'm always saying, it's like two sides, like the other side of the coin. But when you put it on the same one, like the yin and the yang, and, where each person has to find their own balance between the yin and the yang. You have light and dark in you. You have to find the equality. You have to find the balance. But in our society, that dark and that light had become where there was minimal light. It was so heavy in the dark. We were so out of balance. And it's like this wind brought in this change. And it's like a whole bunch of energies, like a whole bunch of, I don't know, people like, I think of like me, that were so much more focused on the light, came in, and to change that energy, it's like all this light came in because it was so much in the dark. But it was so heavy in the dark, so all this light came in and then started like saying things, pointing things out. And then, you're talking to a group of people and you point something out, even if you get laughed at, then you still plant a seed. People still walk away from there with that little thought complex now, and they're rotating around. and giving them something to aspire. So you have, it's a creation of light, of bringing in other thought, other ways of looking at things. And that sparks that memory in the people to reignite the light inside of them, because the balance has gotten out of balance. They've gotten too heavy in the dark. And so in order to pull the balance back in, so the light comes in to remind them of who they are. They're not giving them light. They're not helping them. No, they're reminding them of who they are, and so that the people in themselves can see how they've gotten themselves out of balance and pull themselves back into balance. And we don't need to tell them, okay, well, you need to do a little of this and a little of that, and you better do this and that. Is they know themselves, and they know how to pull themselves back in, but they just have to be reignited, remembered. And so that is what the universe is doing. It's like a shock. It's like when they shock somebody when they've died, and they do that shock. That's what the universe is trying to do to the people, because it was like the Walking Dead. People were no longer really living. They weren't living in joy. They weren't living in connection, acceptance. They were all living in division and anger, and feeling drained and sad, and most people wishing that they weren't born at all. That's super sad. That's super sad. That makes me want to feel like I want to cry. There are so many people like that. Fuck, they've drained the happiness out of people. Drained the joy out of people. They drain the hope out of people. That is inside of everybody. You just have to find it again. And the blockages are like the things you've done. Those are the things that come and block you. Yeah, but you don't deserve it. Yeah, but you remember when you did this? Remember when you did that? You're real. Oh no, you're real rotten. You're real. Like, you're lucky anybody even talk. Like, those kinds of things. Those are what you have to battle to get into, because it wants to hold you into the dark. So you have to fight your way out of it. You have to battle, pull yourself out, push yourself through. And it's a lot of self-talk and really recognizing that this spiritual battle is real. This is, and the spiritual is real. That's real life. This isn't real life. You leave here, you go somewhere else. And so the place you go, that's the real place. That's where your real existence is. Where you can find yourself in your true form. And so the whatever I was gonna say. But anyways, it is the people having to remember, that this isn't real. This isn't your real life, because people are just so caught up in it. And then people are so just beat down, man. Beat down and just sad and hate life. And it's so wild too. Like, all this fucking autism and neurodivergent and all these diagnoses. And people have got to see, like, the reason we have all these is because we're all these. There is no just regular thing we're supposed to fit into. That's an illusion. We're all different. We all have different perceptions. We all have different ways of seeing and living, reliving, experiencing. It is all on different levels. It's all on different states of consciousness and different levels of understanding. So there's not something to aspire to. There is no perfect or normal or average. There's just all states of being. And it is coming into an acceptance of your state of being. You don't need a diagnosis or an excuse for being you. You don't need to say something's broken or something's wrong with you in order to be yourself. All you need to do is to recognize we're all weird. We're all different. We all have different approaches. We all have different ways of being. And there is so much about this state of consciousness of the energies, is like, because some of us are like a higher self, and then some are the aspects of higher selves. Like some higher selves are multiple people, and then some higher selves are their higher self. Like there's all these different ways, like you know, and a lot of the people who want to go home, want to be home, want to be home, it is, and then just look too, because the desire to be home and be back connected, back into their higher self, with all of their being back connected to, you know, not feeling so fractaled out. And then seeing too is like why it is so in our blood to want to connect, to be in a connection, to feel a part of some community or something, and why they keep it, because they understand all this spiritual and metaphysical. See, that's what they are fighting us with. And then they keep people in the dark. That's why you have to wake up, and not just to this fake ass spiritual bullshit distraction world that these group of super spirits came up with, but real spirituality, like really getting into spirituality and understanding, you know, more about it. I don't even know. Like these people, like they've got their own stuff to deal with. I don't know, to come out and be like the experts when I don't even know if they've even looked into anything. I swear to God, it just still blows my mind. Like there's still so many of these ones, so many of them pulling out their Bibles and right here in Deuteronomy 12:14. So it's like, oh my gosh, dang. Like there is, I don't know. It's all going to play itself out. It's all going to work itself out. There's just certain things that there's going to be a lot of flipping. It's going to flip. Like it seems one way, and it seems like it's just this one way, but then it's going to flip. And it's all of a sudden this other way is exposed, this other state, this other side. But that is when each person has to feel that in themselves. When the light comes in, when it shows itself, when it reveals itself, when it's all you can see is yourself. Like the lights come on and that's all you can see. Is the thing you got to look at is the balance. That's what you're looking at, is you're out of balance. So what you want to do is start trying to understand your light and dark aspect and pull them into equality, which, you know, it's a process. Like I've been doing this a long ass fucking time. It's a long process, and it all depends on you, where you're at, where you're out of balance. But and just don't forget, this is all happening for you. Like everything that's happening is happening for you, so that you can fix these things and work on these things. Like this is what you're here for. All this other stuff is just it's the scenery, it's the background, it's the name of the movie. But everything that is real is you and your soul. You and your soul and your path to growth and involvement and expansion. So that part's real. The spiritual life, that's real. And that's why in this journey, why it has such value for you to connect to that side of yourself. The spirit, the spirit that lives inside of you, because everybody has a spirit inside of them. It's, you know, it's your essence. It's your intellect, it's your emotions, it's not your thoughts, but it's all things. It's all of the things that make you up are all, is like I said, when I came out of my body, I was the same. There was not like something that was missing. I felt exactly the same. So you don't need your body. So you are all these things already. They are who you are. You bring it to the avatar, the glove, the sleeve. You bring in the personality, the shine, the essence. You bring that into the being. You bring it to life. You are what shines through. And so the that part of connecting to you, connecting to that, what's real, because everyone's connection, everyone's sight is drawn out. It's always been drawn out. Everybody's always been looking up at the faces around them to tell them, is it safe? Is it safe? Where am I? So it's always looked up at the faces smiling back at them. But when you look up at faces that aren't smiling at you, oh, I don't even like to think. Oh my God. Faces that fucking, God, I'm just, fuck. People have gone through so much stuff. Fuck. So much pain here. But anyway, so we're always looking outside of ourselves. There's been people who there's people who are justifiably angry. It's justifiably sad and broken. It's like real. But everybody can be fixed. It doesn't mean you won't have, scars or wounds, but you can find happiness and joy and purpose again, and some people have never had it at all. They didn't even know it existed, but you can find it. That's what you're here for, that's why you're here, is to find parts of yourself, to grow parts of yourself, to expand parts of yourself, to become more and more connected. And in the connection, you find more of yourself. You understand more of yourself. You know that you're the one who put yourself here. Like, I don't know. I just don't feel like, go to the Almighty to talk to him about what's going on. I talk to my higher self about like what I'm going through and stuff. And there's always purpose. There's purpose behind the things we go through. Anyways, I really should go and do something about her. It stresses me out. See, this is where I get like super stressed. Like her crying really stresses me out. And it's got to probably be something with the PTSD of Lucy. It was horrible the night she died. Is that she wouldn't come to bed. She was laying out there, and then she started doing these crying. So I went out there to see what was up, and then she started having a seizure. And then she couldn't breathe, and she just died in my arms. I was a 135-pound dog, so this isn't like a little tiny thing. This is a big, it's very dramatic, horrible. And anyways, I don't know when she starts crying if it brings that back, but I just like, oh, I've gotten so anxious over her crying. Lately, I've been getting more like, oh, like mad, like stop. This is really stressing me out. But before, like I have gotten to the point where I've like called my daughter like hyperventilating, crying, like I don't know what's wrong. I don't know if she's about to die. I don't know what's happening. I was like, it's got to be something with that. It gives me such a reaction. It's horrible to have somebody die like that. And right there, it's like, oh, horrible. Like, so anyways, all the things we go through, there's a reason. There's a purpose behind it all. So anyways, my purpose is obviously so my little queen can have a tentative mother. So anyways, it's like I gotta make sure that I can do it right. I'm gonna keep doing this. So you gotta love yourself. You gotta love everyone. And you got to have a loving day. So have a loving day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye.